Hello and welcome back to this video where we're now going to be taking a look at using material instant constancies. So a material instant constants is the ability to have a base material and then have a instance of that material but change the values without changing the base material. So it may sound just a little bit confusing the way I explained, so let's go ahead and open up the material and I'll explain how this works. Okay, so we have these four values here. If we right click on these and choose right click and we go to convert to parameter, you can see that it's going to convert this to a parameter, and the properties are going to change in the bottom left, and we're going to have a name. Now it's important that we name this, so I'm going to call this diffuse. Okay, and this has now created a diffuse parameter. Now we can, if we also want to, right click in here and start adding parameters in here. Okay, so we can start using scalar parameters and things like that if we want to add these in manually. However, I just prefer to right click the node and choose convert to parameter. So this one is metallic. We have specular, so I'm just going to call it spec, and then we have right click, convert to parameter, and we have roughness. So what we've essentially done here is we've converted all these parameters, all these nodes into parameters. So when we choose save, and once that's saved, we can close this up down. So now if we right click, and let's just give it, there we go. So if we right click, we have this option that says create material instance. If we click this and it gives the name m underscore MIC for material instant constant. So if we now create or drag the material instant constant to our material here, okay, you see that there's no change. Now if we double click the material instant constant, you're going to see that we now have a different material editing system. So we still have the save, find in CB, okay, parameters and mobile stats, but what's the most important part right here is if we pull this down and let's just try and get both of these on the screen at the same time, you see we now have parameter groups. Okay, and we have a bunch of general information, you know, what material it's linking to, okay, if it's a physics material, light mass settings, etc, etc. So don't worry about those at a minute. What we're interested in are these values up here. So if, let me just get this on screen a little better, just drag this all the way in, there we go. So if we check these options now next to the diffuse, you see we also have metallic, roughness and spec. Now you can see they're separated. Okay, so the first group is vector parameter values. Okay, so when we converted this to this diffuse here, it actually converted it to a vector parameter value, and the other values, because they're simply just values, okay, between 0 and 1 are scalar values. So here's the difference. Now if we click the color swatch here, we can change this to whatever color we like. So we could now have maybe, you know, some sort of blue color, and we can increase and decrease the value. So if we wanted less metallic, a little bit more roughness, and a little bit more specular. Okay, you see just some very slight changes there, it's not very much. You see we've now changed the material and how it is reacting with I guess the lighting information. So we press save, okay, and close that. You see that we now have this material that has been updated over here. So this is great if you have if you want to have just keep the base material the same, but then you want to change certain values on top for different assets, so you don't have to create, you know, many different materials and go through the same process of building it all from scratch. and just altering the values there, when we can parameterize these and then make instant constances and change the values like so. So that is essentially the very basics of material instant constants. Okay, thank you for watching, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.